Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with some summer romance recommendations. So that means these are either books that take place in summer that you should read this summer, or books that are perfect for the summer. So perfect for laying out by the pool, for going to the beach, or just like sitting inside of the air conditioning and not leaving the house. I don't like summer. I'm someone who hates hot weather. That's why I thrive in fall and winter. I love it. I burn very easily, and I've started having like sun rashes because I'm never out in the sun anymore. So like when I go on vacation, I can't even lay out that long because then my skin hates me. So I don't like it, and I hate sand. I hate sand and I hate bugs. And the fact that there are bugs out in the summer make me so mad. So I'm not a summer girly, but I love summer romances. So I am here to recommend summer romances to you. And the first two I have, there's a couple that I feel like are going to be on like everybody's staple summer romance reads if you haven't read them yet. But I think that Elizabeth O'Roark is the perfect person for summer because you need a little bit of angst in those summer romances. And this series literally is all about summer. So first I'll talk about this one though. This one is The Devil in the Deep Blue Sea by Elizabeth O'Roark. This one takes place in Hawaii. So the heroine is asked by her ex to go to Hawaii on a family vacation because his mother's dying of cancer. So this one's a little bit serious, but I literally stayed up all night reading this. I was so obsessed. The heroine is like, we're not getting back together, but I'll come. And she's actually a famous singer, and her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, is like a musician as well. Turns out he gets stuck in another country. He has a little bit of weed in his bag, and he's in a foreign country, and they're like, no, you're arrested. And so she's stuck with his family, including his brooding doctor older brother, who's kind of like in Doctors Without Borders. He's in a very war-torn country as a doctor, but he's now on family vacation with them. He's gonna go back. And so they butt heads a lot, but it's their romance. So she's falling in love with her ex's brother, and it is so good. But they are literally like, it is right person, wrong time. They cannot be together. And it is devastating, but it's so good. This does have an HEA, it's a romance, but they're on family vacation, things happen. And then her other romance is The Summer We Fell, which has so far been my favorite, but I'm in the middle of book 4 in the series right now, and I do really love it. So this one, our hero and heroine, stuff happened in the past. So I will say we have flashbacks between the past and the present where they fell in love with each other, but she's dating his best friend. And she is at the point in her life though where like her boyfriend is her world. Like she is basically adopted by his family. He's very religious, and she like doesn't get to be who she wants to be because she's so afraid of losing him that she is whatever he wants her to be. And so she feels these like uninhibited feelings for the best friend, and he's like encourages her to be who she wants to be, and she just can't. And it follows their summer in the past and their summer now as adults and what had happened, and it is so good. So good. I'm obsessed with her romances. Just obsessed. If we want a little bit of fantasy thrown your way, I did see this on a couple of people's videos as well because a bunch of booktubers already did this video, but the one that I would love to recommend is A Ship of Bones and Teeth by Karina Halley. I actually read this last year on my way to a beach vacation, so we drove like 12 hours to Myrtle Beach, and I always get through like 2 books on my drive. So this one is the one that I read, but I did get the special edition from a Polycon that is so pretty. Like, it is stunning. And then it also has some fun stuff on the inside, and her new book comes out soon, which I'm very excited for, which is a spin-off of this one. But this is basically a mermaid retelling where Eric is awful. And so our heroine has traded her ability to be a mermaid in order to be with this guy, and he is abusive and horrible, and then she ends up kind of escaping with this pirate guy, and we go from there, and we learn different things about them. They are like monster-ish and at sea, and it gets kind of gory, and it was really good. So I had a lot of fun reading this. Like I said, it's been over a year since I've read it, but really great, atmospheric, perfect for summer if you want like an at-sea romance. Another one that actually takes place in summer is That Summer Feeling by Bridget Morrissey. I never know how to say her last name, but this one is actually a sleepaway adult summer camp, and it has a lot to do with family too, which I loved, but it's a sapphic romance. One of them has just gotten divorced and really doesn't know what to do about that, and she goes to the summer camp, I believe with her sister, and the other heroine is there with her brothers, and they've gone to the camp a lot, and they're really close, and I really love them together. And I really love the one heroine with her brothers. I love that storyline so much, but they are in the same cabin, become friends, and then start falling for each other at this camp. She actually had met the girl's brother at an airport earlier, and I don't remember how long ago it was, but she had this kind of like premonition that she was like heavily involved with him, and so now she like thinks, oh, like this is the guy I'm supposed to like be getting over my ex with, but little does she know she's actually falling in love with the sister. And it was just such a fun, very cathartic trip for the heroine, because her and her sister never got to do that stuff when they were younger, and like I said, a lot to do with family and just discovering yourself at an age where you think you'd have everything already figured out. And I just really love this, and I thought it was a really fun setup where they're at an adult summer camp, and if you want a good sapphic romance to read in the summer, pick this one up. Then we have Rewrite Our Story by Cass Singleton. This one heavily deals with death of a parent, so please know that going in, but the hero and heroine, I believe he is her brother's best friend, and they had started falling for each other in the past, and then something happened that tore them apart, and now in the present she has come back home because his mother has passed away, and she was very close with his family, and so it is their romance reconnecting. We have a lot of flashbacks in here, and it is just a very emotional, very good, a very spicy romance. Cass Singleton does like to write the spice, and if you like a small town summer romance, and I feel like Second Chance is so good in the summer because a lot of times it's like, oh, they had something in the past, and sometimes it's just like those long summer days together. Now they have to confront like what went wrong and what happened, and so this one was really good. I definitely have to read the other one. I think there was a book 2 I haven't read yet, unless I did. I don't remember. And read her Billionaire ones, but I love Cass Singleton. Perfect for the summer. Then I have Something Wild and Wonderful by Anita Kelly, which takes place on the Pacific Coast Trail. This is an MM romance where the one hero has been pretty much banished from his family, which is really, really hard on him because they've been so close. So he is hiking this trail, and he meets this other guy, and they start hiking together, because a lot of times on these trips you like run into people and then you kind of separate, then you see them again, and they end up hiking together and they fall in love, and they are definitely dealing both with a lot. The other one is coming off of a breakup and is dealing with a lot in his own life, and a lot of people do these trips kind of just like as a way to pause their life and really reflect on everything that's happening, and so that's what they both are doing. But it is such a good romance. I read this in a day. This I also actually read on that same vacation that I read A Ship of Bows and Teeth, but on the way home. So I read this in one sitting in the car and cried when I was reading this. It is just the perfect summer romance that's really emotional, but so good. Then I have Tame the Heart by Ava Hunter. I do feel like Small Town is really good for the summer as well. Our heroine is dealing with the heart condition, and she feels like she is just smothered by her brother and her father, and she wants to get away. So she basically like hops in the car and leaves and doesn't tell them where she's going, and she arrives on this ranch, and the hero is a very, very damaged hero. He owns this ranch, and he never lets anybody in because of losing someone in his past, and the heroine really pushes his buttons, and she agrees to do social media for the ranch because they're getting some really bad press lately because something had gone viral that was negative about their ranch, and so she's like, let me help you with your social media and your marketing if you give me a place to stay. So she's staying on the ranch, and they are falling in love, and she is just pushing down his defenses, and it is so good. I love a good ranch romance, and that's what you get in here. Very emotional as well, because he's definitely really hard to open up again after his loss in his past that he blames himself for, so just read this. And the second book is so good too. That one, Second Chance, I loved it. Then I have another piratey one, and that's To Ravish a Rogue by Siemnis Costa. This one is a monster romance as well, a very interesting monster romance, and the heroine needs a way to find, I think it's her sister. She's trying to find someone. She gets a ride on the hero's ship, and it is a romance. It's a lot shorter. I think it's less than 300 pages, but if you want a monster romance, I really can't say anything else other than that without spoiling it, but check this one out. It's a lot of fun. Then I have Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. If you need a romantic suspense to get you through the summer, which I also think is great to read in the summer, check this one out. The heroine also actually works at a nursery, like a flower nursery, so I feel like those vibes are very summery. And the heroine is rebuilding the house that had burnt down and killed her parents and her sister, so she is orphaned, and she moves in with her best friend's family and is fostered by them. And so now she's rebuilding the house, and her foster brother is in charge of a construction company, and his best friend, who's a very broody ex-FBI profiler, is also helping reconstruct because he's really good, like fire, arson person, like he knows how to rebuild after that. And so it's their romance, and there is someone that is threatening them, and that's all I want to say. But it has to do with the serial killer, which I always love in my romantic suspense, so I was obsessed with this. And I also have the special edition she sent out in her PR packages, which are stunning. Just so pretty. One of my favorite books by her now. I'm obsessed. Please read this summer. And to end this video, I do have the most obvious one that if this is not on your summer TBR or if you have not read it yet, please do. And that's Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This book, the hero and heroine both think that they're cursed by the fact that they always date someone and then they're the person before they find the one. So they're always left single, and the person that they were dating finds their true love, and they're like, this is dumb. And so the hero goes to Reddit to complain about it, and the heroine is like, that happens to me. So she messages him. So it kind of starts off epistolary where they're just messaging back and forth, texting, and then they start FaceTiming, and she's actually a travel nurse, and her friend are supposed to go to Hawaii, and she finally convinces her friend, she's like, can we go to Minnesota? And so they go to Minnesota, and her and the hero decide to date for just the summer, and they couldn't break the curse because they're like, oh, so then we date each other and we break it because then the next person that we each date will be the one. Well, they start falling in love with each other, and the heroine's dealing a lot with her mom, and the hero's dealing a lot with his family and taking care of his siblings. So it definitely has a lot more emotion and more to the plot than just the romance, and it is so good. But the way they are so infatuated with one another was adorable. They like never wanted dates to end, and they were so cute. I loved them. So please read this one. And those are my books you should be picking up for the summer. Let me know if you've read these and if you have any other summer recommendations. I would love to hear what I should be adding to my TBR, so definitely let me know in the comments, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.